Good morning, friends. Hello. Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. How are you this morning? Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great on this post 4th of July encounter. It is it was a steamy one, at least where we were on this weekend. Spent a little bit of time in Maine. Had a great worship on Sunday. The heat finally broke a little for us, so it was pretty lovely. We have any number of opportunities to gather and be a part of the wider world of church. We're downstairs right now. We are working on our chicken meal for our folks at the branch supper that we'll be serving up tonight. An incredible opportunity for a meal and for some to share some love with our people, with folks in our community. That all kinds of good stuff going on. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you are doing great today on this rainy day. Finally, the heat has given up and the rain has come. So good morning, everybody. We'll get going here in 1 second. All righty. Good morning. All right. See everybody. All right, friends, let's get going this morning. It is the 7th day of July. It is 7/7 on this beautiful and drippy day here in Fall River. I hope that wherever you are and however you are, God's grace is with you. Know that if you hear my voice through this, you have been prayed for today. So I was thinking about this notion of names and naming. You know, it's whether and how what we call a thing, what we call ourselves, what we call other stuff, what we and how we frame the world around the names that we have for things. You know, we think about the first great naming is, well, Adam, right? Adam is brought into being and God names Adam. And then what happens is Adam gets to go, is confronted with the rest of creation. And then we see in Genesis 20, he gave names to all the livestock, all of the birds of the air, all of the wild animals, but still there was no helper just right for him. That we find in this initial thing that God names Adam, and then Adam names the creation, names the animals, both the livestock, the tame animals, and the wild animals. And I think this might seem insignificant, but I actually think this is at the heart of what of the spiritual life. And wait a minute, how is naming the animals at the heart of the spiritual life? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to tell you that because this is what we have to contend with all the time. So read this line again. He gave names to all the livestock, the tame animals, right? The animals that we can cooperate with, the animals that our lives would be empty without. Like think about all the tame animals in your life, whether they're cats and rats and elephants, or wait, those aren't the right ones. Sorry, different song. That whether they are the cats and dogs, the companion animals, or whether they are the animals that are good for food that we raise up and that we care for, so that they can then nourish and care for us, or the animals that we find as a part of the wider world of work. The kind of the horses and the things that make things go and transport and the world. I get it. We don't do a lot of work with horses anymore, but we still do talk about horsepower. It's still the way we frame things. So that we talk about the livestock, that Adam names the livestock, and then Adam also goes on to do what? Name the birds of the sky. Okay, so they're a little ambivalent. Some of the birds of the sky we get along with, some are, but largely the ones that we that are kind of good for food, those generally are more flightless. Even like ducks that we keep that generally don't fly, even the chickens, all that sort of stuff. But the birds of the sky, they tend to be a little more wild. They're in this in-between place. And then the wild animals. Then we have the wild animals, the things that will come and eat you. The thing that all of a sudden you stop being the top of the food chain and that you now become their food. The things that come in and kill your livestock. The things that come in and destroy the peace and shalom. The things that sustain life. And so this is the naming that Adam is confronted with. He has to name both the chicken and the wolf. And he has to see them for what they are and give them proper names. And names, remember, like names aren't just a thing of like, I'm going to call him Bob, Bob the wolf or Bob the chicken. It's that it is about the quality of a thing. When we name something, we talk about the quality of it. This is what we encounter every time when Moses said to God, who am I to say you are? He says, I am who I am. That I am the ground of being. That the fact that you all exist, the fact that there is existence, I am the I am. That's what I am. When Jesus confronts the Gerasene demoniac, there's this way in which who does he say that he is? He's legion. We are many. So it talks about the quality. It's always about quality. And even when Jesus asked the disciples, he asked Peter, who are they saying that I am? Well, some say you're John the Baptist. Some say you're Elijah. Who do you say that? I say that you are the Son of God. This is about naming quality. So we have to name the quality of the thing before us. We have to name the quality of the life, the encounter that we're having, and the life that we're living. And we do this all the time. You might think that, wait a minute, this isn't like, I want you to think about the last time you made a mistake. The last time you made you just stepped in it. You made a mistake. You're a human being. You messed something up. Whatever the story may be. What then do you call yourself in the midst of your mistake making? Oh, you dummy. Oh, you idiot. Oh, you fool. You're useless. God, I can't believe you did that. What quality do you then appropriate to yourself when things come undone? Or when things go right, when something great happens, when you manage to pull something off, like, oh, I'm such a good boy. Look at what a good boy I am. I'm so good. I've done such a good thing. I'm good. I'm such a good boy. You can begin to see hopefully where I'm going here, is that we encounter these things. We encounter the naming of the world. We encounter the naming of the movement of spirits. We encounter the naming of the animals, the naming of these different influences in the world. We are naming stuff all the time, aren't we? We're always putting a quality on a thing. I mean, we even use this in our language, right? Like we talk about the qualitative reality of people. Oh, they're a sloth. Oh, she's a fox. Like, I mean, we use these qualities all the time. Oh, he's a snake. Like we use these qualities we use this as a qualitative idea all the time. And so my suggestion to you is to think about what's in the name. What's in the name of what you call yourself, the events of your day, the events of your encounters with other people, the events of the interactions of our life, because our lives actually look a lot, this one verse, Genesis 2:20, is really the entire story of our life. God gave us to name the peaceful, helpful, good things of our life. God gave us to name the big things that soar overhead, the big ideas of our lives, the birds of the air, and God gave us to name the wild things that will kill us and consume us. And that this is the life of discernment. This is what we have to discern. And it is also when we get it wrong, when we say, when we fail to have charity with ourselves, when we fail to have compassion with ourselves over what we've done or what we've done, when we fail to turn and some towards the life of repentance and bring in the wild animals that they may know peace. You know, you see this pop up all the time in the prophets, don't you? When the lion lays down with the lamb. Well, that's not what is that saying? That is life at peace. It's saying that we can have these instincts of destruction that exist with us, and we can have the instincts of peace and joy that exist within us, and that they don't have to destroy each other, and we don't have to be destroyed by them, because we can name them properly. So, my friends, my invitation to you this week, and my invitation to you today, is to think about the naming, how you're naming things. Because everything is, you might ask, what's in a name? And I would say to you, everything's in a name. How are you naming the person that you're contending with? Are you calling them your enemy? Are you calling them your friend? Are you calling them someone that's misunderstood? Are you calling them someone who's in need of compassion? Are you calling them friend? Are you calling them demon? What's in a name of the? How are you calling yourself? How are you calling yourself when you're in need of grace? How are you calling yourself when things are well and good and whole? Because the true name for all of us is beautiful child of God. That's the name that God gives us. The name that Jesus gives us is friend. That's the name that Jesus gives us. So can we live our days? Can we live our lives discerning the things that would destroy us, picking through the things that need to be seen as threat and know that they're a threat, to name the wolves as wolves, to name the things that would feed us as the thing as glory, and yet can we in the same way name the things of our own soul, to name the things of our own heart, to name the things of our own being with the compassion and with the true name that God gives us, that of child of God and that of friend. Friends, my hope for you in the days ahead, that you might ask, what's in a name? Because it's kind of everything. And I hope you will step into your true identity as God's beloved child, and name yourself, and name the world around you, and all whom you will encounter accordingly. Peace and grace to you all, my friends, and we'll pick it up tomorrow with another 11:11.